Feeling blocked or stuck from getting your results? Let's talk about today why you might be feeling blocked or stuck. Perhaps it's because there's some fear, some thing that feels way too uncomfortable to take that particular action step or those several action steps, and you just can't bring yourself to do it. Or on the flip side, it might not feel scary, but you just can't conjure up motivation or discipline. Discipline is a choice, right? But sometimes we just can't seem to make the choice to choose discipline so that we get our results. So let's talk about the different scenarios so that if you're either feeling stuck right now, or if you get there in the future, which we all get there with things in life. It's a place we have all been and will probably all be there again at some point in the future. So let's tackle it. Let's tackle it so you know like what the heck it is and why it's there and what to do about it. Oftentimes when we are on the brink of getting the results that we've laid out for ourselves, we end up having some sort of self-sabotage. This is oftentimes called a bifurcation point, which there's another lesson in here about just the bifurcation point. It's when we get past, like the bifurcation point is we can go one of two ways. One way that results in self-sabotage, and the other way that gets us our results. Oftentimes a bifurcation point shows up when we are on the breakthrough of getting our results. But everything that we're going to talk about here today can either be at a bifurcation point or really anywhere in your journey for any goal that you ever have for your entire life. One of them has to do with your subconscious mind being terrified about being in a new place in your life that you have never experienced before. A new identity, new conditions, new circumstances. When we haven't experienced it before, the subconscious mind might feel terrified to make it your reality, even if it truly is a significant upgrade from where you've ever been. The subconscious mind goes, hang on a sec, there might be crocodiles on the other side. What if my goal, my results, my dream, where I want to be, what I'm working towards, what if there's crocodiles on the other side and I don't want to face them? Now, obviously, metaphorical crocodiles, and it's an interesting thing because there may be actually metaphorical crocodiles on the other side. So it might just be that the subconscious mind feels like something is going to show up and the subconscious mind goes, I've never done that before. I've never been the type of person to do those things before. I've never showed up in life like that. I've never had those experiences. That's unpredictable. That's scary. And so the subconscious mind goes, there's crocodiles over there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay in the safety zone where you've always been. Even though it might feel lonely or stressful or sad or you have anger or people are crossing boundaries and don't respect you, the subconscious mind goes, at least we know that we don't die over there. It sure is miserable, but it's a place where we can survive. But you're not thriving, right? And so the subconscious mind goes, wait, don't go and do that thing that sounds wonderful because what if it isn't? Because what if it isn't? What is your subconscious crocodile that's showing up for you? Or the what ifs, right? And so if we have that subconscious fear of what could be lurking on the other side of our dreams, then the subconscious mind might try to sabotage you so that you never make it happen. And when we become aware of what that could be, then it finally gives us the courage to take the action steps to just go make it happen. So that could be one of the things why you feel no motivation, no discipline, or even apathy, disconnection from the goal, things like that. So just think about that one. The second one that I want to talk about has to do with possibilities and your belief system. The strength of your belief in the possibility that you have to make your goal your reality is going to be a direct reflection of the motivation and effort that you bring to the table to bring your goal closer to yourself, into your reality. So if there's a part of you that feels like it's not possible, then your subconscious mind will not allow you to take the action required in order to bring your goal, your dream, your plan, your new identity into your current reality, right? If the subconscious mind believes that it's not possible, it will not allow you to spend the effort to try to make it happen, because it will believe that all of that time and discipline and whatever you invest in yourself and the effort will be for nothing. And the subconscious mind says we don't do things for nothing. It has to bring us a result. There's essentially, you can call it a cost benefit analysis. A cost benefit analysis. What will this cost me? Time, energy, stress, motivation, money, whatever it is. Well, what will it cost me? And what will the benefits be of the cost? A cost benefit analysis. And if the subconscious mind goes, I'm going to spend way more time, energy, effort, discipline, yada, yada, that in a way that feels like the results aren't going to be worth it, then the subconscious mind goes, don't put time, energy, effort, money, motivation, discipline into the action steps to make it happen. So when you start to lose possibility of whatever it is that you want for yourself, then as long as you don't hold it fully possible for yourself, it's going to be hard to actually go out in the real world and make the action steps to do it. So we must be connected to our goals and our outcomes in a way that we believe that we can bring it into our reality, into our life. That's very important. Even if whatever goal we might have out there might shift, our goals might shift, and that's okay too. But we want to hold on to a specific goal, a specific reality that you want to hold true for yourself. And we must believe, you must believe, that it is possible for you. Your strength and possibility, your strength in the belief of the possibility is going to be a very strong direct correlation in your effort, your time, your energy, your discipline, your motivation to bring it into your reality, to make it real. Our action steps in this world is how we make it real for ourselves, right? So ask yourself how connected you are to the belief in possibility, that what you're working towards is something that you can actually make happen. And that actually brings me to another point, because if you have not actually defined what it is that you want, that you're working for, the subconscious mind is not going to put much effort into something that it doesn't understand or that is working, what you're working for. If you simply say to yourself, the only thing I know is I want to no longer have pornography or addictions or escapisms in my life, then it's going to be very challenging and difficult for your subconscious mind to allow you to have motivation or discipline or effort to change and to make things differently, because we can't just be working to move away from something. We have to be able to move towards something. Moving away from something would kind of be like putting your car in reverse and leaving a destination without having any rear view mirrors to look in. We're not going to get very far. Pick a destination on the map. Pick a destination on the map. Pick a destination on the map, because that way you can create a path on how to get there. You can create a path on how to get there. And we all know there's more than one path to get to the same destination, and it is entirely okay to, once you are going along your path, you can change your destination when you want to, at any point. But when you are actioning out in the world, when you are efforting out in the world, you must have a destination on the map. You can change it when you want to, which is a very common thing. Oftentimes, as we're here doing the inner work, we actually begin to expand and grow our possibilities of what's possible for us, which is actually pretty amazing and incredible. And I see it all the time. So don't be surprised if the destination on your map changes because you now see larger possibilities for yourself. And there might just be little micro changes, and that's okay too. And it's okay if it's not super crystal clear, but the clearer the better. And as you drive closer to something, as you get closer to a destination, it becomes more crisp, vivid, clear. The details are there. So it's okay if you don't have extreme details right now. That is totally okay. But put a destination on the map. Because if you don't have a destination on the map, you can just kiss your motivation, your effort, your efforting out the window, which means you can just kiss your results goodbye. If we have a lack of vision of where we are going, we're not going anywhere. When you have a lack of vision of where you're going, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so ask yourself where you are in these so far. Are any of these like resonating with you so far? Okay, it might not be what you actually want. Maybe you've crystal clearly defined what it is and you can, like the goal that you're working towards, and you can write about it and journal about it and talk to people about it with all these details. But perhaps, just perhaps, it might not actually be what you want. Down to the depths of who you are, it might not be what the real version of you actually wants. It might be some version of you that you think other people want for you. Maybe you think it's what your mom or dad want for you. Or maybe like you're just doing what society says and I need to get some job that is high paying so that I have status and my parents will be proud of me. And perhaps you're trying to pursue a lifestyle to still maybe win over the love and acceptance of your parents. This is a really common thing, right? This is a really common thing. So be aware of what you create for your goals. Are you creating your goals to win over acceptance and validation and love from other people, but it doesn't really feel connected to who you are? Or are you doing it from a true, authentic place? Does it feel heart-driven for you? Does it feel like you're fulfilling and satisfying some purpose that's greater than you, some way that is giving back to other people in a way that feels really good, down to just the visceral parts of who you are? We all have that. We all have that. And so just get connected with that part of who you are. Ask yourself, hey, am I crafting my goals based on what society or my family or whatever wants for me? Or is it because it's what I want for me? Ask yourself that, because if it's not what you want for you, then overcoming things like addiction becomes significantly more challenging. Part of this journey is learning who the heck you are so you know how to connect to those parts of who you are, because you might not know right now, and that's okay. Part of the journey helps that to typically emerge in some way. So, which involves going in really deep, taking a look at our darkest parts that are not necessarily the fun things to talk about at the Thanksgiving table, right? But they're parts of who we are that we must look inward. It might be scary, terrifying, getting the self-acceptance, self-compassion, and healing from those things. And then usually there's some pretty amazing things that emerge with stepping into a sense of purpose and being in alignment with your authentic self. So ask yourself if your vision that you've created for yourself is for you, or if it's to get validation from other people. And usually, almost always, if it's for getting validation from other people, it's because we have subconscious low self-worth and we are still valuing our self-worth based on how other people are validating us. So be aware of that. Another thing, we might be scared to get our results, to live an amazing life, to get an amazing career, to be an amazing relationship, family, marriage, whatever it might be. because you might possibly be scared, especially if you are a younger sibling. This might apply to you more. If you're a younger sibling, you might be scared to outshine an older sibling. You might be scared to make more money than them. You might be scared to be more successful than them. Or if there's a golden child in your family, right? You might be subconsciously scared to have a better, happier, more successful life than them. If you fall into this category, it's usually because you're feeling like you're trying to protect their emotional state. You might feel that they'll look at you as being so successful, and therefore they'll look at themselves as being a failure, and they'll feel ashamed, and that they'll have subconscious low self-worth. And I know people who have fallen into this, whether it's being scared to outshine the golden child or the older sibling in the family. And I recently heard a story of a woman who was terrified to earn more money than her father, feeling like if she had earned more money than her father, then her father wouldn't feel as masculine of a man if, his little daughter is more financially successful than him. So if you're experiencing any of these, you probably will not get your results until you overcome these things. So does your subconscious mind believe that there are crocodiles on the other side of your goal? Have you lost the belief and possibility that your goals are even possible for you? Do you lack a vision of what you're even working towards? Meaning, do you even have a place on the map? So when you start taking action, you know where to direct yourself and what you're working towards. What you're working towards might not actually be what you want, but it might be what your parents want for you or society wants for you. And then are you scared to outshine an older sibling or maybe the golden child in your family or a parent for fear that they will feel like they are unworthy or inferior? So if you're feeling blocked or stuck or unmotivated, ask yourself these things, because we have all been there. We have all been there, and we will probably all be there again at some point in the future. So it is really good to be aware of these things, because if they show up, it's going to be the barrier between you and your results. When these things show up, it is the barrier between you and your results, and it is entirely possible to work through them. So just be aware of them. First, you need to be aware enough of who you are as an individual. Do you know yourself well enough yet to know what these things are? To identify when you're stuck in one. And when you pinpoint that you're stuck in one, do you know what the specific thing is? It's okay if the answer is no right now, because now that I've laid this out, your mind is going to automatically start thinking about these things. This is when I encourage you to do things like, when you're driving, leave the radio off. You need time with your own mind to think. When you go into the bathroom, leave your phone outside of the bathroom. Do not bring your phone in the bathroom. Take time every single day unplugged from a digital source. We need to make sure that we are not distracting ourselves from ourselves. And with we have thousands and thousands of distractions every single day, bombarding us, coming at us, doing their best job to try and capture our attention, which every time that happens, we are being distracted from ourselves. And we live in a society where most people are at a constant state of distraction from who they are all day, every day, for years on end, which makes it impossible to problem solve with internal conflict and hurdles and barriers and pain and addictions and emotional wounds and all sorts of things. So disconnect from your distractions so that you can connect with yourself, so that you can know yourself on a deep, intimate level and have so much amazing self-awareness. And the cool thing is, the more that we get to know ourselves, the stronger we have the possibility to have self-compassion for ourselves, because you're aware of more parts of who you are that you can then love, which is incredible. So I'm really curious. Put in the comments section If you're feeling stuck, where are you? Where have you been stuck before? What have you done to overcome it? Share this, put it in the comments. I would love to know. And when you talk about it, it actually helps you to engage, to problem solve even more with it. So that's all for today. Hey, I popped back on because I remembered that there is a sneaky number 6 that is very important to know about. And it's harder to pinpoint sometimes, and it'll sneak up on you. And there are a lot of people in this world who will never meet their goals because of this sneaky number 6 that I'm going to add on top of these other 5. When we feel like we are undeserving of acquiring the goal, of meeting the goal, reaching the goal, of making that our reality, of being successful with that thing, whatever it may be, we may feel that we subconsciously do not deserve it. And even your conscious rational mind can speak about it and say, of course I want to overcome addiction. Of course I want to step into a career of my dreams. Of course I want to have a romantic partner that loves and adores me and challenges me to be a better version of myself and is always there for me, right? We could go on and on about the things that we want, and we know we want them, but then on a subconscious level, there is a feeling of you don't deserve it. There's a feeling of, well, you did all these other horrible things and made horrible choices, so why would you ever deserve greatness in your life? Or there might be people in this world who don't want to see you succeed because they don't believe that they can ever succeed. Or maybe they are judgmental about times in the past when you made a poor decision about things in life. And some people want to see you fail, and you might be feeding into what they want for you. Or if there could be some childhood experiences that had some trauma that made you feel a little bit unlovable. Even though it's a lie, you might feel like it's true, and you might feel undeserving of greatness. You might feel undeserving of healing and recovery from any type of addiction or trauma, and then how we can grow our life with amazing, wonderful things and relationships and whatever it might be as a result of going through that process. The subconscious feeling of unworthiness, of not deserving it, is one of the biggest self-sabotagers that shows up. Usually we're not even aware of it. So I'm sharing this with you so that you can be aware of it. And just one little thing that you could do as an action step to see if this is something you're experiencing is say out loud without reservation. Just say it out loud, the thing that you want. What is it that you're working towards? Where is the destination on the map for you? That's what you want. That's what your results are. That's what the goal is your destination on the map. Say it out loud. Say that what it is that you want. And when you say that you want it, you could even close your eyes and then just pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Because it's either going to feel good or it's not. It's either going to feel good or it's not. And then you can also do this again with speaking it in real time, as if you've already achieved it and met your goal. See how it feels and see if there's a difference with the two. If you feel kind of expansive, it can be difficult to put into words. If you feel a little bit more expansive, then you are likely not experiencing shame or unworthiness. And it's not a limiting belief or not a subconscious blocker for you to meet your goals. But if you say what you want out loud and you feel like a contraction inside of you, maybe a tightness, maybe a discomfort somewhere in maybe your chest or belly is usually the more common places it's felt, then something's going on there. So pay attention to that. And it's getting past the limiting beliefs of feeling like you don't deserve whatever it is that you're working on bringing into your life. And there's the difference between a conscious, rational knowing and defining what you want and knowing that you're deserving of it. But then there's the subconscious feeling of it. So whatever the subconscious is experiencing is going to be ultimately the path of least resistance towards your action steps. So if you are feeling some resistance towards your action steps of meeting your goal, because your subconscious mind might not feel like you actually deserve the thing that you're working so hard on bringing into your life. on shifting, on changing, on whatever it is for you. So you might take a look at where that destination is on the map and see how deserving you are of it. You are fully deserving of it. That's the truth of this world. You are deserving of it. Whether you believe it, know it, feel it or not, you are deserving of it. And the more that you are able to connect with the feeling of knowing that you deserve and feeling that you deserve whatever it is you're working so hard on getting, then the more your subconscious mind will allow you to take efforts and action steps to make it your reality. So this is a sneaky number 6 that I'm throwing in here that is really important. And be familiar with this and the 5 that I talked about before this. So there we go. 1 through 6. The 6 common most things that can hold you back from taking the action all the way to reaching your goals, the destination on the map. Those are your results that you want, that you've defined for yourself, that you're working towards. And so when something is showing up in your life and you're not meeting your goals, it's almost certainly going to be one of these 6 things. In most cases, it will be one of these 6 things. Check in with yourself, see what they are. Sometimes it's multiple things at once. It's not always just one. And that's about it. All right, signing off.